This is interesting. A couple of weeks ago, I tested this golf ball, the Ping golf ball, no longer in production, and actually cost me on eBay £25 a ball. The idea you can line it up better, but it's an old ball. Like, you can't buy them anymore, they don't make them. Get this, Srixon have actually brought out a version, the Divide. These are the Q Star Tour. Even though I paid £25 a ball for the Ping ball, these are £30 a dozen. Check these out, look how brightly coloured they are. We've got red and yellow, we've got orange and yellow, we've got blue and yellow. Now the whole idea of this and the big story is how much easier it is to align on the putting green when putting. So when you line your ball up to try and get it in the hole, it's supposed to be easier. So I'm going to test that first. In this video, I'm also going to check out these golf balls because again, they've got to perform around the green, on wedge shots, iron shots and drivers as well. So we're going to do all that in this video and chop one in half. Now at the moment, I'll be honest, I don't know which is my favourite colour. We've got this one, the blue and yellow, this one, the bright orange and yellow, and the last one, this red and yellow. Now normally when I do putt, I'll either line up the logo of the golf ball or I'll use a tool like this and actually put a black line on the ball. And I do find it to be much more effective. I find that I feel more confident over the putt when I'm actually hitting it towards the hole. It doesn't make me question it. So that's kind of what I normally do. So using these Divide golf balls where you got half and half, that basically is trying to emulate that but in a different way. See if it works. Right, I'm going to start on a fairly short, super straight putt. So in theory, as long as I've lined it up correctly, and as long as I put a good stroke on it, that should go in. So I've gone red and yellow first. You know what? I like that. I do, that feels like, let me just double check it with the shaft. That feels like it's aiming really straight. And I'll tell you what, if you come around this side and have a look at this, and you can see that's my first attempt, and that is absolutely bang in the middle. But hey, listen, we're only hitting from short range. So let's hit a few from here first. Now, it's just about hitting it on that line. Nice. And what you'll see there, did you notice how the two sides of the golf ball almost rolled over together? It almost looked like it was just in one perfect line. It's nice, it's confidence boosting. So on those short putts, I like that. The one thing you'll see, and certainly on that last ball that I just hit, the blue and yellow one, if it wobbles a little bit, it means you've probably not put the best stroke on it. There's probably the fact your face might not have been perfectly straight. So you can almost use these. And I think that's why Ping made the two coloured golf balls in the first place. Almost like a training aid to help you get that roll after roll. Right, I'm gonna spend a bit more time putting with these balls and then tell you a little bit more what I think. So this one is right to left put, so I've actually aimed the line more to the right where I want the ball to start. So you're probably not going to see this roll quite as pure because as it takes a slope, that line's probably going to slightly slant more to the left. A lot more to the left than I predicted. Okay, let's start this off with feel. For me, these Divide golf balls feel just like a Pro V1. Like, softness off the face is good, so I'm happy with that. Now, I've seen some positives, but also I've seen a mixture of negatives, which surprised me if I'm honest. On those short ones, certainly when the putt is straight, that's where I see these golf balls coming into their own. Being able to line it up dead straight to the hole, within 10 feet, I think that's where the strength is because it just gives you huge confidence. As you go further back, one, you're relying on your green reading skills. Like, are they good enough? Are you aiming in the right way? And that depends on player to player. Another thing, if I was to put my golf ball down, my normal Pro V1 with the line on it, I don't often notice if the ball is tilted slightly to the left or slightly to the right. So I don't notice if this kind of happens. That line pretty much always stays on top. Like, I find it doesn't make me question it. When I'm using these Divide golf balls, I'm finding that it's actually somewhat of a challenge sometimes to get it absolutely on top. Like, it feels like it's slightly more noticeable if that line is not exactly almost parallel to the floor, really. So that's something I've noticed. Now that might be for some people a benefit because it means you're being more precise. But for me, I found myself, it took longer to line the golf ball up. And then as soon as it starts to take longer, I start to question if I'm actually getting it right or not. So my next point is something I discovered when I was just testing these balls then. And now it might not happen very often, but when I'm using the kind of my normal golf ball with a line on it, and let's say I hit one and it doesn't go in, shock, shock, but it's in it. Just trust that to happen when I didn't want it to go in. If it doesn't go in, let's say. So the moral of the story, try and miss and apparently it'll go in. Okay, third time lucky, not getting in the hole. So if I miss, I'm gonna miss on purpose this time. Okay, if it misses, if it's close enough to the hole, I don't really mark it. So for me, tapping it in here, the line on the golf ball that I normally use isn't in view, we can't see anything, and I've got no distractions just to tap it in from there. However, I miss with this golf ball and I'm again in tapping range. Because that line is just, it's so obvious, like I can't miss it. And for me now when I stand over this putt, I don't like it. Like, I know it's only a short putt, but I feel like I have to mark that golf ball up. Now again, to some players that might be a benefit because it might be more precise. But for me on a short putt like this, I'm never gonna line it up. I just didn't feel nice over it. It's a bit of a negative. It might not happen very often, but it's something I definitely need to make you aware of. But overall, I do actually quite like the ball putting with. I do think it would be a big benefit to a lot of golfers, certainly if they get really good at lining the ball up. I think it could save some shots. Trust this Manchester weather, eh? Right, it's just started drizzling. I think it's going to get worse. Hopefully I can come back and carry on this test. If not, I'll come back another day, but it might explain why I might be in a different outfit. All right guys, it's a new day because we had to stop for rain. That's twice now, 2 videos. And in between, actually, I've had a little beard trim and a haircut if you've not noticed. Next thing we're gonna do, chip with these golf balls. Now, they reckon they spin because they're a soft cover, urethane cover. But what's really interesting with a ball that's obviously half and half is how visually they look like they're spinning into the green. I think that'll give a player a little bit more confidence and how it will roll out. So let's chip a few around the green and we'll kind of see what that looks like. Oh, that's crazy. And that might not have spun any more than a regulation ball, but it looks like it is. Like, it gives you the impression that you're kind of clipping it and it's spinning like crazy. Nice little confidence booster. And I think that one has gone in the hole. It's not often I chip in, so I'll definitely take that one. One more. Not again. Not again. But how like the visuals are so fascinating. I'm actually a big fan of that. Okay, so that's chipping done. Let's go and hit some longer pitch shots. So, you know what, looking at the box, I've actually tested quite a lot of the things that it's claiming. Feel, ultra soft feel. It does actually, it feels like a soft premium golf ball. Greenside spin, yes, I'd again agree, it has good greenside spin. But with that divide, it almost makes it look like there's more spin around the greens and certainly pitches into the shots. So visually it looks like there's more, which is not a bad thing. The next thing it's claiming is distance. They reckon that this Srixon divide ball is exceptionally long. Let's jump on the tee, get driver out, hit it on GC quad, give these a test. All right, before hitting driver, I've got a little test for these golf balls. Because of how brightly coloured they are, surely they've got a bit easier to find. So I'm gonna do a little challenge. I'm not gonna see, the 3 golf balls are gonna be thrown into the rough behind me. I've got 3 minutes to find all 3. So let's set the clock watch, 3 minutes. Can I find all 3? Stopwatch has started. Right. Right, 1 minute in, I found none so far. Nearly 2 minutes in, and no luck, I've not found a single one. 30 seconds left. I literally can't see it. Oh. 1. That's it, time's up. So I thought it'd be easier to find, but in rough that thick, it obviously isn't. There's 2 golf balls at the side of the 18th if anyone wants to find them. Okay, it's driver time. Now, for me, I'm hoping to carry this golf ball around about 280 yards. That's my normal driver shot. What I'm also gonna do is, see how straight I could potentially hit it. Okay, so I've put the tee in, and I'm gonna line it up almost like I'm hitting a putt, straight down the middle of the fairway. So if you look down that line now, that is aiming exactly down the center line. Let's see if it helps. Okay, I've seen a problem with that already. When you're putting, your eyes are much more over the ball, so you're looking down the line. With driver, because I'm stood so much further away, that line actually doesn't look straight. Yet it is. Like, because I've stood further back, oh, I don't know if I like that. I'll try it, but regarding building confidence, I'm not sure it's doing that, because again, from my visual here, it just feels like the ball's aiming far too much to the right. And that is in the trees to the left. That's weird, it almost plays tricks on your eyes because it is angled and because I'm not over the golf ball. Distance-wise, wasn't a great start. Let's hit a few more. Again, a little bit left. Felt like a better hit. After 3 pretty horrendous tee shots, I've come to the conclusion I can't line the ball up on the tee. I just really don't like it because, again, just the visual doesn't work for me. So I'm going to try it now, just pretty much looking at only one colour. I think for me, if I looked at 2 colours, it's going to throw me out on the tee. So I'm just going to go one colour now, looking at me from the ball's position. Okay, that was better. Yeah, that was more like it. For me, I could not see it with the 2 colours. Okay, that's all right. 277 carry, just under 160 miles per hour ball speed, 1,700 spin. That's more like it. I'd be happy with that. Okay, I'm gonna try yellow side up this time. Oh, that's the best shot. Oh, yes. Oh yes, more like it. That felt really good. Obviously when you hit it well, it will feel better. Yeah, distance wise on that last one, 285 carry, 1,700 spin, and again, just under 160 miles per hour ball speed. What I'd expect to see from a premium ball. And I must admit that was the straightest shot I've hit, certainly so far. There we go. There we go. I'll be honest, it took a little bit of time to get used to how the colours look on the tee. I'm definitely not for lining it up, but come and have a look at these numbers. You know, is it exceptionally long? Not ridiculous, you know, it's not record breaking, but 285 carry, 2,100 spin, 159 ball speed. I would be very happy with those numbers with driver. Now, before we come to the most important part of this review, let me explain what I think about these golf balls. Overall, they're quite nice. I think they're good feel, that's a big positive. I think they do everything that a premium golf ball does. So that's separated, that's the performance of the golf ball. Good off the tee as we've seen, soft around the green and feels like a Pro V1 of that kind of caliber. Then, talking about the divide, because that's the big story of this golf ball, the fact you've got 2 colours on the golf ball. I think it's massive pros and cons. As I mentioned on the putting green, if you have a perfect straight putt and you can line it up and you're confident and you're really good at green reading, I think these golf balls could be a game changer, I really do. However, we saw a few too many negatives. If the golf ball tilts or you get close to the hole, you might have to mark it up, or you're round the side of the green, and if that line's not perfectly lined up or it just doesn't suit your eye, it might play with your head too much. And certainly what I found off the tee, I really didn't like lining it up off the tee. That was a big negative. But for £30 a dozen, they're not a bad try. And you might like them. Were they easy to find in the rough? Not for that example, but you might find more luck. Let's finish off this ball review with the most important part. Let's chop one of these in half, see what's inside. I've gone yellow and orange. They certainly won't be like the pink ones I chopped in half. Fairly underwhelming. Guys, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.